Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight on our news.
Former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram back on the campaign trail for the F&M. The story coming up.
State Minister for Finance Michael Halkitis responds to allegations about theft in his ministry. That story straight ahead.
The details surrounding this year's Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival are officially released. That story is coming up tonight, straight ahead.
News is brought to you by Alive, the nation's newest and best LTE network.
Good to be alive.
Welcome to our news and thanks for joining us. I'm Christina McNeil. Topping news tonight, after 5 years in retirement, former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram officially jumped back on the campaign trail last night in North Abaco. Putting his support behind F&M candidate for North Abaco, Darren Henfield, Ingram said he came to tell the Bahamian people not to make the same mistake of electing the PLP twice. Kyle Joaquin reports.
Former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram telling the people of North Abaco that after 5 years of representation by PLP MP Renata Curry, it's time to bring North Abaco back to the F&M's win column.
North Abaco! North Abaco! I love you still.
It was his first time at a major political rally since the North Abaco by-election in 2012. Ingram came out swinging, calling out the Christie administration on everything from the failed gaming referendum to hundreds of thousands of dollars going missing in government departments.
Thieving going on every day. You know, I told you the cookie jar. I'm just told today, yesterday actually, that $860,700 was stolen in the Ministry of Finance under the watchful eyes, or not so watchful eyes, of the Prime Minister and Mr. Halkitis. $860,000 just gone.
But he said one of the biggest blunders of the PLP is its failure to explain where the VAT money is going.
They lied to you. They told you they were introduced VAT, that you had to pay it on your light bill, your water bill, your medicine, the hospital, your food, your insurance, on everything. You must pay this because they say England left the Bahamas broke and we need to pay the debt. So we got to have this new tax on everybody in the Bahamas, on everything. Well, that was a lie then. It's a lie now. They got the tax, they collect the money. The debt is higher now than it was before.
And though he never mentioned the Democratic National Alliance, Ingram spoke to the impact voting Green or any other smaller party could have on the election. He said Bahamians are voting for the next government, and realistically, there is only one alternative.
If you want the PLP to go, don't trifle by voting anything other than F&M. To vote against the PLP is to vote for the F&M. There are no in-betweens, no spoilers, and no grain. Red is the color, baby, red.
F&M leader Dr. Hubert Minnis welcomed the support of the party's former leader and said it shows the F&M's battle wounds have healed.
I am so proud. We have overcome division and distraction. We are all together as one strong, free national movement.
The F&M takes its campaign to Central and South Abaco tonight, and it's back to Nassau Wednesday for a mass rally. For our news, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
Well, the Ministry of Finance is denying the theft of hundreds of thousands of dollars. Speaking outside Cabinet this morning, State Minister for Finance Michael Halkitis told reporters if former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram has evidence of stolen funds, he should present it. Jasmine Brown has that story.
Halkitis outright denied the allegations made by the former Prime Minister, insisting they're far from the truth.
The Ministry of Finance has no knowledge of any $860,000 stolen or missing from the Ministry of Finance.
Last night, former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram used a case of alleged theft in the Ministry of Finance to bolster his case against the PLP government and its lack of accountability. Ingram claimed he had been informed that $860,700 was stolen from the Ministry of Finance under the watchful eyes of Prime Minister Perry Christie and Halkitis. The ministry indicated in a statement that it is aware of an incident of overpayment of a vendor. The statement read, "This has been reported to the Auditor General and steps have been taken to recover this overpayment, which does not approach $860,700. It continues, disciplinary action has been taken against the officer responsible for the overpayment and investigations are continuing." When asked if police were looking into the matter, Halkitis avoided the question and called for Ingram to back up his claims with evidence.
Is there a police investigation? But we just wanted to know if there's a police investigation. Has anything been turned over to the police?
As I said, we have no knowledge of any missing money or any stolen money from the Ministry of Finance.
How can...
All right? And I don't want to speculate, I just invite him that if he has such evidence, please provide it to us or to the commissioner, okay?
Meanwhile, the Nassau Guardian reported that at least 2 sources confirmed last week that nearly $1 million went missing from the Ministry of Finance. But the newspaper reports that a senior government official denied knowledge of it and that a senior police officer said he was unfamiliar with the case, even though sources claimed police were called in. Halkitis was also asked if he believed this latest attack against the PLP hurts the party's chances of winning the next general election on May 10th.
I don't want to speculate on that, but I just, once again, please, former Prime Minister, if he has such evidence, provide it to the Commissioner so it can be thoroughly investigated. Thank you.
Reporting for our News, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Well, the Progressive Liberal Party took its message back to Grand Bahama last night, where Prime Minister Perry Christie painted F&M leader Dr. Hubert Minnis as the most reckless, weak, and unprepared person to ever put their name forward for the leadership of the country. April Sands reports.
Prime Minister Perry Christie pulled no punches as he took the rally stage on Grand Bahama last night, branding the F&M a broken party led by a weak and selfish leader. Addressing thousands of supporters, Christie warned that a vote for the F&M is a vote for the Bay Street Boys. He predicted that before voters get to Minnis, he would get rolled over by those special interests that are now with what he called the fake national movement.
He is the most reckless and unprepared person ever to put forward for the leadership of this nation. There has been nobody so reckless and so unprepared vying for the leadership of this nation.
Christie also called out Minnis for being a no-show at Bahamar's recent soft opening, despite receiving an invitation. He said the F&M leader clearly does not support Bahamian workers.
Minnis was invited by the president of Bahama to come to the opening. And you know what he said? Minnis said no. He's still saying it's not really open. New guests now are checking in every day. People eating in restaurants, swimming in pools, spending their money. Bahamians working in every capacity. And Minnis is denying that reality.
The Prime Minister also had a special announcement for Grand Bahamians.
It gives me a great deal of pleasure to announce that tomorrow afternoon is the official signing of the Heads of Agreement with Carnival Cruise Lines for the construction and development of a new cruise port in East Grand Bahama. We have also negotiated with them that there will be Bahamians who would wish to go into business out there in that new destination, and for funding to be provided to them to go into business out there. This is big, 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 big.
Reporting for our News, I'm April Sands.
Candidates in the upcoming general election, poll workers, and some members of the armed forces are among those voters expected to cast their ballots in tomorrow's advance poll. Unlike previous years, the advance poll will only be taking place on New Providence and Grand Bahama. Minister responsible for elections, Dr. Bernard Nottage, explains why.
Usually the number of persons who apply from those islands is relatively small. And having regard to the registration process and this election cycle, we felt that we would not be able adequately to accommodate advanced polls in every island, because that requires a lot of infrastructure.
As for who qualifies to cast early votes, Nodded says it will include essential workers as well as those who are traveling or are scheduled to be in hospital on May 10th.
Those persons who are in essential services, like the law enforcement, particularly the police and the defense force officers, as well as candidates and their spouses, electoral poll workers who are working for the parliamentary registration department, and electoral agents for candidates without the opportunity to vote in the advance poll.
As for the certification of the current voter register, Nodded says that's something that has to be answered by Parliamentary Commissioner Sherlyn Hall. In other news, the days are winding down to Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival here on New Providence, and despite controversy surrounding the original date and concerns over the budget, the events are still on track for this weekend. Giorgio Bain has more.
The details surrounding this year's third annual Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival are officially finalized, and the three-day event starting this week Thursday are sure to please. After doing it like a boss during the inaugural Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival in 2015, soca superstar Marshall Montano is back to headline Carnival 2017, hitting the stage with another heavy hitter like Bungie Garlin, who says he can't wait to perform his hit song, Truck on the Road.
We have a truck on the road. We have a truck on the road.
The pair will also be performing their latest hit, Bus Head.
We
have a journey where somehow soca and carnival could understand Junkanoo and Bahamas. I think this is the early opportunities for us right now, and we feel very proud to be here.
This year's events will be held at one location, the Cultural Village, on the beach at Arwaki.
But Friday night we have Synovia Pierre, Rick Carey, Visage featuring Dyson, Wendy, and Benji, D-Mac, Peter Ram, Farmer Nappy, Olatunje, Voice, and Roy Cape, along with Bungie Garlin on Friday night and Marshall Montana. Saturday, our Road Fever starts at 10 a.m.
Dames did not give a budget for this year's events, but he said the budget was cut in half, which resulted in many aspects of the festival being removed, but he believes they will still deliver a quality product.
How do we deliver a quality product for the budget that we do have? So production was our first issue. Let's get the quality production and what other areas we can cut. Clifford Park, we completely eliminated that because we could not afford to do that.
Artist Bungie Garlin had these words for carnival organizers who have faced heavy criticism from Junkanoo Carnival's inception.
As with any venture or with any journey in life, there will always be the millennials and there will always be the traditionalists. There will always be the purists who want to keep things in a particular way. And it will always have those who want to adventure forward. We have to take the good with the bad. We have to take the black with the white, the up with the down. You have to take both.
Tickets are now available at BahamasJunkanooCarnival.com, or you can visit one of the 14 locations of Cash and Go. Reporting for Our News, I'm Giorgio Bain.
Still to come on Our News, 851 police officers move up the ranks. That and more when Our News returns.